Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Dylan Henderson, aka Big D. I'm a fiance, I'm a father, and most of all, I am a Detroit Lions super fan. Welcome to my podcast, Big D's All Things Lions. Tonight's episode is going to be a little introduction episode. I'm going to talk about myself, I'm going to talk about my fandom, and kind of how it all got started, and then we're going to dive into some Lions stuff, some Lions news. We're going to talk about the schedule. We're going to talk about my record prediction. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, like I said, my name's Dylan Henderson. I live in Metro Detroit, and I've been a Detroit Lions fan all my life. And it's actually a funny story I like to talk about. Actually, when my mom was pregnant with me, Barry Sanders put his hand on her stomach, and I always say Barry gave me that Lions touch even before I was born. I've dressed up for a number of years now. We have season tickets. We're 5-year season ticket holders. My fiance and I, we take our kids, we take our friends, we take the family, and we have a good time. And we cheer loud. Home games, we're always at the home games. We're always in the stands cheering, getting up, having a good time. Away games, we're watching them at home. Going absolutely berserk and nuts. I love them. I love the Lions so much. I can't tell you how much I love them. I mean, you can see behind me, I got some of my stuff behind me. I have a pretty kick-ass memorabilia collection from helmets, jerseys, rare stuff. I mean, trinkets. I mean, you name it, I got it. Let's see. I have shirts, I have socks, I have shoes. I mean, you go down the list, I got it. I rep them every single day. I had it tattooed on me for life. And I just love the Lions so much. Even when we were bad, even when we went 0-16, I remember watching and how much I just love the Lions and how much I love football in general. I really wanted to start this podcast to just talk about Lions stuff. I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to football. You may agree with me, you may not agree with me. And just growing up, I remember as a kid just watching Stafford, watching Megatron. I mean, Calvin was my favorite player as a kid growing up, and just watching him go up for them high point 50-50 balls and coming down with them every single time. And it was just amazing to see and watch, and going to training camp as a kid and getting to see all the players and get autographs and all that stuff like that. It was absolutely amazing. And, I get to do that stuff with my kids now, and I absolutely love that I get to take them to training camp, take them to games. And we just have a good time, and we love it. I mean, it's football, it's family, it's Sundays, That's what we do. And there's nothing better than, getting off work or working all week long, and then come Sunday, Sunday night, getting ready to watch the Lions and cheering your ass off for them. So my fandom really started when I was a kid, I really started getting into football when I was a kid. Like I said, I watched them, ultimately go 0-16, and I've watched them every year since. I have not missed a Lions game, and I honestly couldn't tell you how long. I mean, whether I was watching on my phone, whether I was finding a TV to watch it, whether I was in person watching it, just watch them, just love them. Cheer loud, win, lose, tie, love them, absolutely love them. So like I said, favorite player growing up, Calvin Johnson, Megatron. My favorite player now, which some of you may agree with or may not agree with, is Jared Goff. He is our quarterback, number 16. And my bold prediction is that Jared Goff is going to lead us to a Super Bowl this year and finally bring that Super Bowl where it belongs, in the Motor City. I have been a huge Jared Goff advocate ever since we traded for him. Day one, I went out and bought his jersey as soon as they became available, and I have rode behind him all the way. I also am a big fan of Hutch, Gibbs, Anzalone, everything. My wife is a huge fan of Alex Anzalone ever since he shouted us out. When we got engaged, he put a little engagement video out for us, and he shouted us out, which was pretty cool. I used to own a nutrition shop in Allen Park, Michigan, right down the street from the training facility, and it was about 2,000 square feet, and I had it decked out from top to bottom in all of my Lions memorabilia, so that was pretty cool. The Lions actually did come in and do an interview with me, and I did have a commercial run for all of the 2022-2023 season. And I have the videos of that and stuff like that I will post, so you guys want to check that out. I also... I've done tons of stuff with them. I've done interviews. I've done phone calls. I mean, I've had players call me. I've had former players reach out to me. And honestly, I just love it because I soak it all up, and it's great. It is absolutely great. So let's dive into the Lions now. Now, I know there's a lot of questions around the offseason because we've lost some coaches. We've lost some coordinators. And we had a couple key player departures, I mean, we lost Zeitler to the Titans in free agency. He went there on a 1-year deal. We lost Carlton Davis to the Patriots on a 3-year deal. But we also signed DJ Reed, who is a Dan Campbell guy, who is a physical corner, who's not afraid to come up and hit you in the mouth. And we also drafted a couple key rookies in Tate Ratledge and Miles Frazier. Tate Ratledge coming in the 2nd round and Miles Frazier coming in the 5th round. I really think our offensive line is going to be okay. And I really think that the NFL messed up sort of by giving us an extra preseason game and allowing us to start training camp earlier, right? Because all offseason long you've heard it, how our line's going to be without Ben Johnson. How our line's going to be without Aaron Glenn. How our line's going to be without Frank Ragnow. Well, I'll tell you what, you gave us an extra preseason game. So that gives more time for the coaches, the player personnel, everybody to get the X's and O's down. And also, Tate Ratledge was taking reps at center all off-season through rookie minicamp and all that stuff. And also, Miles Frazier kind of slipped in the draft. I mean, he was projected to go day 2 pick, and he went on day 3. And I really think that we're going to be okay because I don't know if you guys remember, but Ragnow's rookie season, Ragnow played guard all season while Glasgow played center still when we drafted Ragnow. And we still have Glasgow, and Glasgow has the versatility to play center and guard on both side guard and center. So we can plug and play. And we also got some guys like Skipper, who's played guard before, Coyote Awashika, or as I call him, Yodi. He's also got some versatility on the offensive line. Sorsdale's been around for a bit. We got Manu developing. I mean, we got some guys to plug and play. We also picked up the kid from Arizona, Cologne. So we got some guys to plug in the offensive line, and we got all preseason to kind of work it out because these guys are going to get some reps, especially the young guys. And then, talk about on offense. I mean, think about it. I mean, we got Amon-Ra. We got J-Mo. We got Laporta. We got Tesla now. We got Tim Patrick. We got Raymond. We got Gibbs. We got Monty. I mean, Tom Kennedy's always been a solid option. I mean, he's bounced around on the practice squad and been elevated. We also got Lovett, who we drafted in the 2nd round, who was an absolute dog at Georgia. So we got a lot of weapons on offense. If Goff's got to fire that ball out quick, we got a lot of options for him to throw it to. Not only that, we have the 2-headed monster in Sonic and Knuckles with Jameer and David. So I think we're going to be all right. And then you want to talk about the defense. Okay, well, we went 15-2 last year with a depleted defense with 20-plus players on IR. I mean, everybody we had on IR could have made a whole complete defense plus backups. So we get Anzalone. We get Jack Campbell. We get, DJ Reed. We get Terrion Arnold, who's going to have a massive year 2 jump. And then on top of that, we get Hutchback, who was on pace to be Defensive Player of the Year, possibly breaking the all-time sack record for a season. We get Hutchback. We drafted Tyleik Williams in the 1st round out of Ohio State, who put up some pretty good numbers for being a defensive tackle at Ohio State. We have DJ Reader, who's coming off a career high in sacks with 3.5 last year, which you might say, 3.5 sacks doesn't all. Well, DJ Reader's a run specialist. He's a run stuffer. He's to take on double teams and stuff like that. And then on the other side, there is questions, right? We bring back Davenport, who has a history of injuries. We have the rookie out of Boise State, Hassanan, which, if you don't know who Hassanan is, look him up because that kid his motor and his drive and his, determination is out of this world. And then there's also the question, are we going to bring back Zadarius Smith? Now, I am all for bringing Zadarius Smith back. I want Zadarius Smith back. He put up 9 sacks, 5 with Cleveland, 4 with us at 32 years old. The dude's still got a lot left in the tank. And also, there's some stuff going on. His girlfriend's from Detroit, Cash Doll and everything else like that. And she's keeping him around and stuff like that. So hopefully we bring back Zadarius Smith. And then we got the best safety duo in the league, and Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, because Kirby had 9 picks last year. Branch is an absolute stud. All-Pro Kirby, Pro Bowl Brian Branch, best safety duo in the league. Led the league in interceptions, Kirby did. And then obviously you pair him with Brian Branch and unstoppable. So yeah, I think we're going to be all right. And I think we're going to win a lot of games this year, and I think we're going to shut a lot of people up. And that's just my opinion, and you can have your opinion, and that's okay, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. I do think we're going to win between 12 and 14 games. I do think that we're going to steamroll some of these teams, and I do think week 1 we're going to take it to Lambeau, and we're going to beat down the pack again. And then when Ben Johnson makes his return to Detroit, I think we're going to put a whooping on him too, and then we're just going to keep it rolling. We're going to win the division, and we're going to go back-to-back division champs, and then I think we're going to ride off into the sunset all the way to the Super Bowl and get that first Super Bowl win. As long as we stay healthy, as long as Hutch stays healthy, Kirby, Branch, DJ Reed, Terrion, as long as the boys can stay mostly healthy, offensive line too, I think we're going to be okay. So let's dive a little deeper into me. So I've been a season ticket holder for 5 years. After COVID, I really wanted to get season tickets just because there was still some weird stuff going on in Michigan where only season ticket members would be able to go to the game before they announced full capacity. And I remember those first couple of years going to Ford Field, it was empty, it was rough, we were getting blown out, especially in 2021, Campbell's first year here. And then we got that win against Minnesota on that touchdown to Amon-Ra, his first career touchdown. And then we beat Arizona. We put a pretty good beat down on Arizona at that game. And that was actually the first game that me and my fiance went to together. So that was pretty cool. So her first game going to the Lions, she got to see the Lions win. So that was really cool. And then we beat the Packers last game of the season, and you say, oh, well, the Packers, sat their starters or whatever. Well, you know what? We beat them in the first half. And then the following year, we were putting up points, we were doing this, we were doing that, and then it all changed. That Green Bay game, when Kirby picked Rodgers off twice, Hutch got the pick, and we won, everything changed. Something clicked. And then we went on to go 9-8, and since we started 2022 at 1-6, we have went 35-9 with 2 playoff wins and 2 playoff losses. A ton of Pro Bowlers, a ton of All-Pros, and a ton of upside, and a ton to look forward to in the future. I've attended a lot of games. Like I said, it's my favorite place to be in the world, is at Ford Field on a Sunday, Thursday, Monday, cheering my ass off, losing my voice. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's no better environment. I was in person at the first playoff game against the Rams, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. The place was humming 2 hours before, and it was crazy. There was fireworks, there were streamers. It was, and there wasn't a dry eye in the stands after we won that game. That was hands down. That might have not been the most points we ever scored. That might have not been, the funnest second half ever, because we only put up 3 points in the second half. But that was hands down the best Lions game I've ever been to, and one that I will remember for the rest of my life, was watching us beat our former quarterback and win our first playoff game in 32 years. I always had faith. Even back in, the Jim Schwartz days, the Jim Caldwell days, not so much Patricia. I didn't really like Patricia, but we're not going to talk about him too much. But, we have the right players, we have the right coach, we have the right staff, we have the right front office, and we have the right owner to get this done. We've turned it around, and now we just got to go win it all, and I think we're going to. All I think about is Lions all the time. Lions, 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 Lions. And I think about winning the Super Bowl. I think about, God, man, we get there and we finally win and just how absolutely crazy it's going to be. And I don't think anybody can imagine what it's going to be like down in Detroit. The whole state of Michigan, Lions fans everywhere from coast to coast and around the world when we finally get it done. And I'm going to be right there crying and just all the emotions when we finally get that done. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, We got, 64 days until the season starts when we travel to Lambeau to take on Green Bay at 4:25. And then 25 days until the Hall of Fame game, which I will be attending, and I'm super excited for because back in April, we went to the Hall of Fame for the second time for my birthday. And then I said, I was like, oh, if we ever have a game here, then, I'd like to come check it out. And lo and behold, we get the Hall of Fame game. So I'm super excited for that. I've never been to a road game. So technically we're the home team, but this will technically be a road game. And even though it's preseason, I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited to see some of our rookies like Tesla and Hassanan and Ratledge and Frazier and Lovett and some of our younger guys too, see if Rakestraw gets some playing time and stuff like that, and some of the other guys too that we picked up. I'm super excited for it. This is our 5th year going in with season tickets. I'm super, super, super excited. I cannot wait for this season. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Like I said, win, lose, or tie. We are going to be attending a couple training camp days. Those are always fun if you guys have never attended a training camp day. I know for season ticket members, it's the 8th, so that's coming up to get tickets. But then they go on sale, or not on sale, but the public can claim them on the 15th. And if you guys have never been to training camp, grab some tickets, take your friends, take your family. It's a really good time. They got some stuff for the kids, like face painting and some games and stuff like that. There's Lions Legends, you guys can meet the cheerleaders. And then after practice, the players are always out there signing autographs, and the kids can get some autographs and stuff like that. And honestly, that's kind of how I really got into it. I was watching the games and stuff like that, but I was going to training camp as a kid and just getting to meet the players and stuff like that and watch them practice up close. And you're like, wow, these guys are huge. They're big. They're you can play football professionally and get paid to do it. And that's a lot of kids' dreams out here. I mean, it really is. A lot of kids grow up playing football. A lot of kids grow up playing sports. And when you get to take your kids and they get to watch up close, and they're like, wow, this is so cool. And then these are the guys they've been watching on TV or, watching at the game or whatever. And in training camp, you get to get up close and personal and stuff like that. I love training camp. I love all the stuff like that. I mean, we attend the draft party every year that they throw down at Ford Field for our season ticket members. And a few weeks ago, we got to do a tour of the Performance Center in Allen Park, and that was really something. That was really cool to see the weight room and the training room, the recovery room. We got to stand up at the podium where Dan Campbell has given so many of his famous speeches on Hard Knocks and stuff like that, and it's really good stuff. I mean, so you guys should definitely go to training camp, check it out if you've never been before. And obviously, if you've never been to a game, I know some tickets can be pricey and stuff like that too before, but you really got to check out a Lions game. If you're a Lions fan and you live in Michigan or you live somewhere else and you've never been to a Lions game, you really got to check it out because there is no better atmosphere than being inside that dome with 60,000 other fans going absolutely nuts. You feel it in your chest, you feel it in your knees, you feel it in your legs, you feel it in your whole damn body, and there's nothing like that. And it is just absolutely something. So let's dive into the schedule here. So I'm going to pull up the schedule here, and I'm going to give my record prediction for what I think we're going to do. So obviously preseason doesn't matter. I mean, we go 4-0 or we can go 0-4. I mean, preseason doesn't really matter. I mean, we went 4-0 in 2008. We went 0-16 in the regular season. So week 1. Packers win. I got that as a win. That's 1-0. Week 2, Bears at home. That is a win. So I got us 2-0. Week 3, Monday Night Football against Baltimore. Now, last time we played Baltimore, they blew us out. I don't think that's going to happen this time, but I do have that as a loss, our first loss of the season against Baltimore, because for whatever reason, every single year we cannot start off 3-0. So we're going to lose one, and I think it's going to be against Baltimore. That's okay because the next week we'll bounce back against Cleveland and put a hurting on Cleveland, and we're going to be 3-1 at that point, and that's at home. Week 5 against the Bengals. This is going to be a tight, close game. I think like a 27-24 type game, like last second field goal wins it. But I have us winning that game, improving us to 5-1. Then we're going on the road against Arrowhead against the Chiefs, and I definitely think we're winning that game. Not a Chief fan, not a Patrick Mahomes fan, and I definitely think we're going to win that game. I'm going to go 6-1. Then the Buccaneers. Buccaneers is going to be a tight one, just like last year. I do think we're going to get on our revenge game against the Buccaneers, so I got that as a win. Then the Vikings come here. Now, I have a splitting with the Vikings, and I think we're going to lose to the Vikings at home on the 2nd, just because it is tough to go undefeated in their division like last year, and I actually have a splitting with Green Bay and Minnesota, unfortunately, this year. So that takes us to, what are we at? Takes us to 6-2 against the Vikings. Commanders, we're getting our revenge. We're putting a beat down on them. We're going to go into DC there, and we're going to put an absolute hurting on them, and we're going to be healthy going into it. So that improves us to 7-2. And then we're going to lose to the Eagles, unfortunately, the reigning Super Bowl champs, in a tight game. Kind of had a toss-up either way. Had that one tossed up either way, but that puts us at 7-3. Come home against the Giants, beat the Giants, puts us at 8-3 there. Packers, Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, that's going to be an L because for whatever reason there's a curse around Thanksgiving, and we can't win on Thanksgiving. But then for the rest of the season, I think we're going to go on a run. We're going to beat Dallas at home. Finally, thank God, Dallas gets to come here, and Dallas is going to see how crazy Ford Field is. We're going to go out to the West Coast, and Goff is going to beat Stafford again, and we're going to beat the Rams again. Then the Steelers come here. Our old buddy, old Aaron Rodgers, is coming back to Detroit. And guess what? We're going to remind him exactly why we're the brand new Lions, because we're going to beat the Steelers in Rodgers' last game against the Lions, because he did say he's retiring this year after the season, and we're going to beat the Steelers. Then on Christmas Day, everybody that's a Lions fan is going to get an awesome Christmas present when we go to Minnesota and we beat Minnesota. And then to end the year, actually, no. I'm sorry. We're going to go to Minnesota on Christmas, beat them, and then to start the new year, we're going to beat the Bears again to start off the new year right on January 4th against the Bears in the Windy City, where Goff absolutely destroyed them last year, because Goff can play in outside weather, and he can throw the ball outside, and we're going to beat Ben Johnson again, and I officially have us going 13-4 this year, winning the division. And honestly, I'd be okay with the 2 seed. I don't want the week off again. I want to stay hungry this year and just ride it out through the wild card. But if we get the 1 seed, that's great. We get the 1 seed again, that's amazing. But I got us going 13-4, 2 seed, division, and then we're going to ride it all the way to the Super Bowl. That's my official record prediction for this season. And I'm going to stick by it. And we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. Either way, Lions are going to go win the division and go to the playoffs, and we're going to ride it out to the Super Bowl. So some other things I want to talk about. We touched on the offensive line. Like I said, I think the offensive line is going to be great. I think Ratledge is going to be a plug and play from day one. I think, honestly, probably starting offensive line is going to go Decker, left tackle, Ratledge, left guard, Glasgow center, Mahogany, right guard, and then obviously Panay, the best offensive lineman in football, at right tackle. And then, Goff's going to be starting quarterback. I'm not too sure about, like, backup quarterback, so I'm curious to see if, like, Hendon is going to be, QB2 or if Kyle Allen's going to take over the job. But, I mean, it's Hendon's job to lose, and all he's got to do is go out there and perform in the preseason. Obviously, Amon-Ra, J-Mo. I think Tim Patrick's going to edge Tesla out right now for wide receiver 3, and then obviously we got Raymond and stuff like that. And then Gibbs and Monty, Sonic and Knuckles back again, and then Laporta starting at tight end, Brock and tight end too. I think the offense is pretty much already set. The defense is kind of set too. There's still some question marks and stuff like that. Like, obviously the defensive line is going to get a rotation. I don't think they're going to make Hutch go out and play, 99% of the snaps week 1. Probably ease him back into a little bit, let him get his feet wet and comfortable and everything like that. DJ Reader starting defensive tackle. Probably Levi Owens Enrique's probably going to start defensive tackle. Edge out Tyleek a little bit, but they're going to rotate them in. And then, honestly, the other defensive end, it's anybody's job at this point. We re-signed Zadarius. I think it's Zadarius's job. But then, Hassanan, Davenport, Pascal. Some of these guys need to step up, and Hassanan being a rookie and stuff like that. He's got some competition in there, but he can edge out the job if it's his for the taking. That defensive end spot opposite of Hutch is open for the taking, and then obviously linebacker, gonna rock with Jack Campbell and Anzalone. Safety Brian Branch, Kirby, and then outside corner Terrion, outside corner DJ Reed, and then Amik's going to slide right back into the slot where he left off at. And I think the starting lineup's pretty much going to be set with obviously the depth pieces and the rotational pieces and stuff like that. We did bring in some guys like Avonte Maddox, and we do have Rakestraw, and we got a couple other guys. Rocky Sin, he's been around for a long time, and so we got some guys, some depth there. And I remember reading something. They said Maddox might, rotate at safety and stuff like that. I know he did that in Philly too, towards the last couple of seasons there. So we'll see how it pans out. I'm excited. Preseason or training camp's right around the corner. The rookies report on the 16th, and then the veterans report on the 19th, and gonna get it rolling. And then a week and a half later, we're in Canton, Ohio for the first preseason game. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. But yeah, guys, I'm a huge Lions fan. We're gonna talk about the Lions. We're going to dissect things, talk about trades, talk about pretty much anything, free agent signings, report on stuff, and just do some fun stuff every week. And I'm super excited. Right now I'm gonna drop I might drop 1, 2, maybe 3 episodes a week, and just kind of go along with it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and everything like that. And and just appreciate all the support. And a little bit more about myself. I have a 2022 Ford Escape. It's all decked out Lions stickers. I'm always getting comments, "Oh, go Lions," this, that, and everything else, and I love it. And I love dressing up. I love taking pictures with the kids. I love taking pictures with people. And if you ever see me out at the games or out in public and stuff like that, and I'm dressed up, or even if I'm not dressed up, because I know people know who I am without looking like this and stuff like that. Come say what's up, man. Talk Lions. I'm always down to talk about football and stuff like that. And I'll never turn down a pitcher or anything like that. And like I said, my favorite player right now is Jared Goff, and obviously there's some other guys behind that. And I love Goff, and I think Goff's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. And he is, as Campbell said, "You're good enough for effing Detroit." Well, Jared Goff is good enough for effing Detroit. Jared Goff is a good enough quarterback. Most touchdown passes in the last 3 seasons over Mahomes, over Josh Allen, over Lamar Jackson. And last time I checked, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson haven't been to a Super Bowl. And long ago, Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl, and he's going to take us to a Super Bowl too. And he's also only the 3rd quarterback in NFL history to lead 2 different franchises to 11-plus wins, and the other 2 were Brady and Peyton Manning, so that's pretty good company to be in. I love Jared Goff. He's my quarterback. He's my guy, and I'm going to ride to him until he's gone. He retires from here, or, whatever. So, and then, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. This is just like a little introduction video, and we're gonna really start diving deep into some stuff like that in the next coming few weeks. Thank you guys so much, and hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.